Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're talking about a protocol that can absolutely transform your clinical outcomes. Think about a commercial airline pilot for a second. Before they ever touch the throttle, what do? They run through a rigorous, high-stakes pre-flight checklist. Literally nothing is left to chance. Well, in implant dentistry, when you're using surgical guides, the stakes for your patient are exactly the same. Today, we're unpacking a clinical protocol designed for 100% surgical guide success. It's all about catching errors before they happen, basically treating our workflow as a true high-stakes pre-flight protocol for clinical excellence.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this quote right here perfectly captures our core thesis today. A surgical guide is only as useful as the information it was designed from. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? If the data you send to the lab is flawed, the physical guide you get back is going to be flawed. Garbage in, garbage out. You simply cannot manufacture precision from an imprecise starting point.
So how do we actually guarantee precision every single time? Well, let's run through our agenda, our flight plan for this explainer, if you will. 1. The perfect guide formula. 2. Imaging, before they leave. 3. Case specs and timelines. 4. Pre-surgical verification check. And 5. The day of surgery. We're going to chronologically move from that very first scan all the way to the final cleared for landing moment in the chair.
All right, Section 1, the perfect guide formula. Before we get into the exact steps, we kind of have to ask a fundamental question. What actually causes a surgical guide to fail? Like, why do they sometimes just not fit or not guide the drill exactly the way we planned?
Well, the answer is almost always a totally preventable failure. We're talking about things like incomplete submissions, poor imaging, missing case details, or, rushed timelines. These aren't just inevitable bad luck, they're preventable process errors. And the beauty of the structured pre-submission checklist we're unpacking today is that it systematically eliminates every single one of these failure points.
Moving on to Section 2, Imaging, before they leave. This is the critical data collection phase where everything starts, and it requires us to be exceptionally disciplined while the patient is actually still sitting right there in the chair.
Let's rapid fire through these technical CBCT requirements, because standard diagnostic thickness simply won't cut it here. You need a field of view of 14 by 14 centimeters or larger for full arch cases. Slice thickness has to be set ultra thin, 0.5 to 1.0 millimeters. The patient's got to be in a natural head position with centric occlusion, and you absolutely have to brief them to remain perfectly still for the 10 to 20 seconds it takes to scan, which, as we all know, can feel like an absolute lifetime for a nervous patient.
Now, considering all those technical requirements, let's pause for a sec. What do you think is the single most commonly skipped item on the checklist? Think about the daily grind in a busy clinic, the rush to turn over rooms. What's the biggest rookie mistake made every single day?
Here it is, letting the patient leave before verifying the scan. Seriously, do not let that patient out of the chair until you have verified the data. If the quality is off, like if there was movement or a massive artifact, you must rescan right then and there. Because if they walk out that door, you've just added weeks of delay to the entire case.
So, to guarantee the scan is usable, just run through this brilliant little mental matrix before you dismiss them. Check the nerve canal. Is the path totally clear? Look at the maxillary sinus. Is the floor defined? Check adjacent roots to make sure there aren't any weird artifacts. And finally, on your soft tissue, can you clearly see the gingival margins on the STL? If the answer is yes to all of those, okay, the patient is cleared to head home.
On to Section 3, case specs and timelines. We've gathered the perfect data. Now we transition into the logistical phase where that raw data becomes an actual case file for the lab. So, the crucial point here is you must be hyper-specific with your system and clinical approach so the lab isn't left guessing. You need a HIPAA-compliant patient ID, obviously, but more than that, you can't just say implant. You have to specify the exact implant system, the exact length, and the exact diameter. You also need to note your surgical approach, flapless versus open flap, and your prosthetic retention type. Lay it all out for them.
Now, timeline-wise, ideally you want to map out a 4-week logistical runway to ensure everything is completely stress-free. 4 weeks before surgery, your imaging is scheduled. 3 weeks out, you submit the scan and case info. That gives the lab their standard 5 to 8 business days for fabrication, leaving you plenty of buffer time for the guide to arrive so you can actually inspect it.
But hey, what if you have a tighter timeline? We live in the real world. Sometimes things move fast. The good news is 24-hour fabrication with overnight shipping is available for urgent cases through Guided4Excellence. Just make sure you communicate early so they know a rush case is on the way.
Okay, Section 4, Pre-Surgical Verification Check. Fast forward a couple of weeks. The package from the lab just arrived at your office. This kicks off our quality control phase. The surgery hasn't started yet, but the operation is officially underway.
We're going to walk through these sterilization checks exactly like a pilot reviewing external indicators on an aircraft. First up, is the sterile packaging completely intact? No tears, no moisture? Do the indicator strips show a clear color change? Is it within 30 days of sterilization? And crucially, does the patient identify or perfectly match your upcoming case?
Next, you have to physically inspect the guide itself. And listen, do not wait for the patient to arrive to do this. Look carefully. Are there any visible cracks or delamination? Are the drill sleeves perfectly secure and not rotated? Does it match the expected anatomy size? And finally, review the design notes and drill sequence documents to absolutely confirm they match your specific implant system.
All right, Section 5, the day of surgery. We verified the data, we verified the lab specs, and we verified the physical guide. Now let's move to the final, high-stakes phase, the actual day of the procedure.
Before the patient is even seated, your environment has to be fully prepped. Your sterile tray must have the exact correct drills that match the protocol in your lab docs. The saline irrigation needs to be functional, and your assistant must be fully briefed on how you'll be verifying the seating of the guide. The whole team needs to be perfectly synced before that guide ever touches the mouth.
And this brilliantly illustrates the rigid, sequential physical check you need to do to ensure a fully seated guide. Step 1, a visual check from all angles looking for any gaps. Step 2, a tactile check. Apply gentle bilateral finger pressure to make sure there's absolutely no rocking. Step 3, insert the retention pins. And Step 4, a second visual check to make sure putting those pins in didn't shift the guide. Only then, and I mean literally only then, are you cleared to drill.
Just consider the massive difference between these two outcomes. On one hand, you have a rushed surgery, undocumented, and unverified fit, assumed outcomes. That is literally a recipe for clinical anxiety. But contrast that with the Guided Excellence standard. Post-surgery, you've documented the exact depth and torque, noted the specific lab, and archived a post-op periapical x-ray. It's totally controlled, totally documented, it's night and day, right? Which brings us to our final thought. Look at your own practice right now. Are you treating your next implant surgery like a true pre-flight protocol? By adopting this exact checklist from the very first scan to the day of surgery tactile checks, you are actively engineering your process for 100% surgical guide success. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really challenge you to implement this protocol before your very next patient sits in the chair.